Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And so one thing that we talked about in the hearing was that your estimated uptake was approximately 25,000 students per year, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and so I think it's important, members, and you'd think in a 14-hour hearing everything that could be said, but something that I didn't hear say was that during that hearing was that if you're adding 25,000 students per year into this program, we have been, over the last decade, we have added just under 80,000 students per year. So the public education, so if this goes into effect and LBB's estimate is correct, we're adding 25,000 students into this program per year, the public education system in Texas would continue to grow. It would be bigger year after year after year. Instead of getting bigger 80,000 students a year, it would be getting bigger 55,000 students a year. So the idea, and because we're actually spending less money per child in this program, there would actually be more money per child in the public education system in Texas. And one thing I'll say, at least as far as the districts that I represent, the fast growth districts are really struggling to deal with the kind of growth that they're really struggling. It is very hard to ramp up schools at the rate of adding 80,000 kids a year in the state is hard. So slowing the rate of growth is actually operationally advantageous to the public education system, certainly for the districts that I represent. So I think that this is, it's amazing that you think in 14 hours everything that could be said was said, but that was a point that was not made. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do you keep up with figures in terms of senatorial districts and where that growth is taking place in which of the areas of the state or senatorial districts? For example, I have approximately 255,000 school children in my district, and it's growing pretty rapidly. But is it growing more rapidly than Senator West's district or Senator Van Taylor's district? Do we have figures like that? Because at times, unfortunately, we come up here and we don't address it as a whole. We address it just by districts, and obviously it should be as a whole. In my opinion, 85,000 new enrollees in our public schools should not have to be addressed on a district basis. But it would be nice to know where the growth is taking place and where the need is for informational purposes at least. Do you have an answer?
Yes, sir. So Leo Lopez, Chief School Finance Officer for Texas Education Agency. So I don't have those figures with me, but when I get back to my office, I can certainly have staff put together, say for the last 5 years or so, where the student attendance by Senate district.
That would be interesting to keep up with the trend somehow, how that growth is taking place. I know I have one of my, and I said it this morning in an early meeting, the business group. I have one hospital in my district that's delivering 1,000 babies a month. 6 years from now, it's probably 2 elementary schools. Texans, American citizens. So anyway, I would like to have those figures if possible.
Yes,
Any other questions, members? Senator Huffines?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to ask LBB here, is this quote lost money, or is it all being spent on education?
What lost money are you referencing?
Or any money that's a negative to the budget here? Is this all this money going to education?
The tax credit negative fiscal impact that we were speaking about earlier primarily comes from the tax credit. So this would be lost revenue to the state.
Yeah, but is it being spent on education?
Currently, 75% of the revenue is deposited to the General Revenue Fund. 25% is deposited to the Foundation School Fund.
Right, but the point is any of this money being diverted for highways or anything like that on the lost revenue, on the negative fiscal impact?
Of that tax credit program, the $100 million, the 75%, the $75 million in lost revenue is deposited General Revenue Fund, which is used for multiple purposes statewide. It's not specifically for education.
That's what I was wondering. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Just a quick,
Senator Betancourt?
just a quick comment. In 2015, when Chairman Taylor had SB4, the impact on just the tax credit scholarship, the fiscal note was a positive one for the biennium of $90 million. So I know we don't have the fiscal note, but could we just review all that? Because I think the tax credit scholarship portion of it has a positive fiscal note, and I'll wait to visit with Senator West later.
I look forward to that visit too. I mean, the question is this. Well, let's go ahead. All right. I look forward to visiting with you about it.